Hello everyone, this is Molham and today's video is a little bit different. So I did post about 2 weeks ago about my turtle soup strategy using the 15-minute and the 1 minute time frame. And I asked people if they would like a backtesting video going over some data, let's say a month or two, and backtest this. Just remember that the backtesting, it's not about telling you that, okay, this specific strategy has a specific win rate. It's not about this. It's about me applying the strategy in front of you, gaining the experience from me, learning when to filter out, the good trades from the bad trades, and just going with the highest probability one. So using your experience in order to apply the strategy, because not every strategy is mechanical 100%. Even if it is, there is also a way to make it better, right? So that's the intention of this video. We have learning a strategy, right? That's a video. And we have another video, which is applying the strategy and applying the experience in order to make it better. So that's the goal of the video. Now, we're going to go, as you guys know, I've asked in the video, and a lot of people say, okay, do it. We're going to be doing on this year. So we're going to do 2 months. Hopefully, the video doesn't go too long. So we're going to go, like, let's say we're going to go with $100,000. And let's say this is a funded account. We're going to see if we're able to, pass this account. So we're going to go with EURUSD. That's my favorite pair, and that's the pair that I trade the most. And I really suggest, and I do recommend trading this pair. So we're gonna start from the beginning of the year, and hopefully, if you guys like this video, then leave a comment below. Tell me to keep going and backtest this on different pairs and different set of data. So we're gonna do January, February for this video, and maybe on another video we're gonna do another 2 months, and we're gonna go this way. So starting January 1st, we're gonna do 2 months. So 2 months until this is March. Yeah, March 1st. I'm gonna call it let's say turtle soup, M15 and M1, because those are the time frames that we're gonna be using. Now, one thing I wanna mention here is that we can add GBP here, and we can, to improve this, it's gonna be much better. If you guys watch my video about SMT, I've taught a lot about the relationship between SMT and turtle soup. But in this video, it's gonna be a bit different. We're only gonna focus on one pair, no SMT in this case. But if you want it in the future, we can actually do it, right? Maybe on the next video. We're going to save this. And we're going to start. Okay, so we have this here. I'm going to make it one screen here, remove everything in case if I've done a backtesting before somewhere in here. It removes everything, and we're going to keep it simple. Look for high probability liquidity pools. Look for the sweep and the opening range, and we're going to go from there. So I'm going to have my main time frame is 15 minutes, but I want it to be, let's say, on the 3 minutes where I use the replay. We're gonna skip the Asian. So one thing that I wanted to make clear is that, and you need to watch my video about the strategy, right? Only trading 2 to 5 and 7 to 10. Those are the 2 time slots that I'm gonna try to focus. If I forget sometimes, then yeah, forgive me. But those are the times that we're going to be focusing in order to execute our trades. And we're going to be, skipping the Asian session. So in this time, this is 20 to midnight. This is the Asian session. 2 to 5 is the London, and 7 to 10 is the New York. All of those times are in Eastern time. So I'm going to skip this. We got Asian session here, and we're almost starting the London session here. I'm gonna mark my midnight open. So this is 20. This is where the candle opens. This is my midnight open. I could call it, whatever. You keep it like this. Just gonna make it bigger here, because this is the level that I do prefer, because this is the level where the manipulation is gonna happen. I do prefer to go short above this level and longs below this level. So we're gonna be skipping here. You see, okay. Most likely, as you see here, I'll always look for sweeps above Asian high and sweeps below Asian low, right? Especially if there is a higher time frame POI below or above. As you guys know, this is my London setup, right? Now in this case, above it, there is not much above the Asian high. Below it, also not much, right? We got this order block here that is now holding the price, but we could get another sweep below to go higher again. But I don't see anything as of now. This is Monday, so not the highest probability. Actually, this is Tuesday, so Tuesday has a high probability setup. Now you see we're going above this point. Now we could look for this high in this case, this high, but there are a lot of highs in here. In the 4 hour, what do we have? I mean, it's not clear here because I think there is a problem with the candles here, the opening levels. There is no fair value gap here. Actually, we're pushing from a 4 hour fair value gap going higher. So my bias is more to the upside, but 15-minute could have another story. We're going to see how this goes. I'm going to keep this on the 3 minutes, and I'll always wait for the closure above any level. Then we're going to be, yeah. So this one, what we can see is that we actually close above this level. So I'm not really confident about this. And because we're more into, above the midnight open, I'll be looking for shorts in this case. So playing the price action more because we close above this level. There's also a fair value gap here that we could, use in the future. This is a bearish fair value gap, or this order block right here, this one right here. So all of those levels are valid, but we always want to wait for the reaction of those levels. Then we're going to be participating. So again, we started going lower. So taking and sweeping the Asian low, but there is a body closure and there is almost no wick here. I could have actually, taken this one, but it's very risky because you got no wick and there was actually this liquidity sweep right here, or I mean liquidity level that maybe I'll go long from, but price did not reach. So this is for me not the highest probability. At least I want to, start the backtesting with a setup that I trust. So this high right here, it looks to me that it's a high probability one, right? Because what we have is a high, right? And this is a fractal high also. We got an order block above. Price could actually disrespect all of this and go to the Asian high. But all of this depends on what? The reaction at this level. What is going to happen at that level? So you see, we're going up. We could have actually taken this one, but it's going to be very, very risky. Okay, now we got a sweep. And we are going lower. So did we close below or not? I'm not sure. That's why we're going to go to the 1 minute time frame. I mean, let's go 15 minutes. And, we're going to go here, play one more. And yeah, so we closed below. What I'm going to do now is when we have a sweep to the upside, simply sweeping a high, what we're going to marking here, we're going to be marking the high of the candle, this one. And all I'm looking for is a closure below that level. And what we see here is that we got a closure below that level already. So this candle closes below. That for me is a trade. Stop loss goes, this high, slightly above it. Let's leave some room in case price goes very close to this one. And we're going to be targeting 3 to 1. Now, the rule for risk management, and I mentioned this a lot of the times, is that we're going to go 3 to 1. And we're going to go break even at 50% of the trade. And also, we're going to take 50% partials at the 50%. That's what I call the rule of 50. Okay. So we're going to be entering here. This is a market order. Market order, we're going to be risking 1%. Save. So started going up. So what do you see here is that we actually have a fair value gap created here. So we could have actually entered off this fair value gap if we wanted. Okay. So I can see that price respected this FVG, started going lower. Okay. Almost back to the entry. Okay. Still hanging around here. Let's see. I'm going to make it faster. Okay. Okay. Back into this, but we're not close at break even. I'm going to take my gam box here and mark this. We can see 50% is around here. So as soon as price gets there, I'm going to go break even. Okay. Very close. I mean, pretty close to stop loss. Started to go lower. Okay. Actually, almost. Okay, now break even and 50%. So I'm gonna go break even. So we're gonna be closing 50%, save, and we're gonna go stop loss here at break even. Play the price action more. Either price goes to take price. Okay, there you go. So first trade, we got it a winner. I'm gonna remove all of this, go back to 15 minutes, and we can see that, oh, it pushes lower very aggressively. We're gonna be looking for another entry if we can. What time is it? It's 5 a.m. So that's the end of the London kill zone. We're gonna skip this. We're gonna go to the start of the New York kill zone if we have any setup in there. So it's 6:30. Two times, yeah. It's almost 7 a.m. now. So playing the price action, I'm gonna keep it at 15 minutes, okay? Because I'll always wait for the closure. Because if I put it at 3 minutes, then it's gonna be a little bit tricky to know when the closure is, and I might be missing the entry. Now, one thing that I suggest is if you're looking at 15 minutes and you see this happening, you see we're going up, coming lower. Now, instead of just looking for POIs here and enter of them very aggressively and in a risky way, what you could do is follow the order flow that is happening now. So you see, we got a fair value gap respected, simply price keep going lower. So that's the way that you should follow instead of just looking for a reversal from here, which doesn't happen most of the time. You gotta look for a structure happening in order to go higher. Okay, so mostly sometimes you're gonna see me maybe taking some risky entries. What I recommend, especially for beginners, is to follow the order flow of the recent price action that is happening here. Okay, now I see nothing. I'm gonna ignore this. I'm not gonna look for turtle soup at here because this is very far. I mean, in the 4 hour, what do we see? We got a very aggressive, candle. We got a 4 hour FVG. So this 4 hour FVG might be a good one. I'm just gonna mark it in case we get a structure from here. Okay. Now, gonna drag this to the left and gonna go up. I mean, not go up, but see what happened. We got a sweep here. Actually, this is a risky entry, but I'm not gonna take this one because what happened here is price sweeping previous candle low, right? And then I could have entered based on this opening price. Now there are two ways to enter of this strategy, right? The first one is wait for the level, the new opening price, which is this one, and enter of this a closure above it on the lower time frame. Another one is, you see this one, we sweep below, we use this opening price in order to enter of this. So we could have entered somewhere in here, and I'm gonna maybe in the next video explain this. So this is more risky. Now I'm not gonna enter this, even though it looked good for me, but I'm not gonna enter because we are bearish recently. I'm gonna wait for structure to be establishing from this POI. Now let's see. Started to go up. That's also another sweep. Could have taken this one, but again, I'm not trusting this because what is happening is we're kind of disrespecting this POI, and the recent order flow is being bearish. So I'm gonna be skipping this because I at least want to see some structure being established. So we got a fractal high here. Started to go maybe up. Yeah, went up. Looks to me that this is a sweep in this case. That's a sweep, maybe a continuation to the lower side. And what we have is also this order block right here, where price reached that order block, sweeping this liquidity level, maybe starting to go lower. I could have entered based on this opening price, but I really missed the trade, right? For me, I missed this trade. Let's see if we get another entry. I mean, this is after 10 a.m. So if I entered based on the previous candle opening price, I'll be able to get a trade. But in this case, there's no trade. Let me see what happened. So we go up. We sweep this high. I could still take this trade, something like this. From here, stop loss above the high. And targeting 3R. So let's see how it's going to go. Even though this is out of kill zone, but it's like few minutes after kill zone. So I'm going to still take this one. See, this order. Because I really missed the main, the major entry. Let's see how this goes. Okay. Let's see where 50% is. So we secure the break even. Yeah. I'm going to make it faster here. Okay. Okay, there you go. So break even here, I'm gonna close 50% and we're gonna go break even. See what happened here. Okay, actually close our break even. So it's all good. We're gonna go to the next day because we're already out of kill zone by, almost 1 hour. So we're gonna go to the next day. We got Asian session here. We're below the 4 hour level. It looks like we're disrespecting this fair value gap, and it looks like it's now an inverse fair value gap. So we could look for maybe sweep to the upside to go lower, or see how it goes based on what? Based on the reaction of the liquidity levels, the reaction and the rejection. Now, when it comes to backtesting, there are some cons that, for example, we cannot take the risky entry based on the opening price of the previous candle, but it is what it is. Now, let's see. I'm gonna drag this to the left. I'm gonna start with the Lena kill zone. One level that I see simply, first of all, the Asian high. We got also Asian low here. Those equal highs, almost equal highs that we have on one in London, one in between midnight and 2 a.m. Let's see what happened. Actually, okay, we created equal highs. So we did not sweep the high. We created equal highs with Asian session. Now, do we have a POI here? There is one that is a bit far away. So there is this fair value gap that is right here. And we have multiple fair value gaps here. So price could actually go up much more. But we also have this wick here. This wick is what? It's literally above the Asian high. This wick is an order block in the lower time frame. That's something that you should know. So let's see how it goes. Okay, another equal highs. Okay, we're going up, sweeping those liquidity levels into this order block. Now, I think this is a very clear AMD for me. That's how I see it. Very clear AMD into this order block. Now, the thing is, this is price closing above, but it's still inside of this POI. Now, this is another type of turtle soup. This one is a closing above, but we're going to be counting on what? Relying on the opening price, this level right here. If we close up below this, that's going to be the flip of the next candle. So we could what? We could go above this level, then close below. That's our entry. We could have another sweep above, or we could just, close below, and that's an entry. So this example, I think, let's see if we got actually a closer below this level. Let's see if we got a closure below this level. Okay, that's an aggressive one. And it looks to me that we also engulf this FVG here. So to me, that's a valid. We could have put it here at the 50% of this inverse fair value gap. Stop loss above the high. And we could aim for 3 to 1 here. 3 to 1 and enter in this. Now, this is a very risky one. Maybe you're not used to, but I could see this. I've been executing this for a long time and I know when it happens and I know when not. So if you are not good with this type of, execution and this type of trade, forget about it and only look for the sweeps with, wicks, just wicks, right? Now, this is 3 to 1. I think I'm going to go with this and it's going to be a limit order instead. So that's 1%. Okay, so we got in and it looks like we're kind of reversing aggressively in this case. Okay. That's 50%. That's 50%. Looks to me. Yeah. So that's 50%. Gonna close 50% of this. Stop loss now. So far we're doing pretty good because we know what highs and what lows to go with. We'll go back to 15 minutes. Let's see, I'm in 5 minutes. I want to see if we're gonna go. Okay, that was pretty close to the take profit. Okay, that's a take profit. So we got the profit again for the second time. And now we're actually closing below this level into this POI. A very small POI, but also we close below the POI. Remember this one? We did not close above the POI. This time here, we actually close below this fair value gap, which tells me that most likely we're going to go to this low. So if I see a sweep below this low, maybe I'll execute. Let's see. I'm going to mark this level just in case. If I see, a clear closure, especially that it has a small wick, and I told you about the small wicks, that I don't trust them much. I want to see how it goes. Okay. Actually, that's a mitigation of the fair value gap to go lower. So you see, mitigation of FVG, small body closure going lower. So it looks very okay, and it keeps going lower. That's why I did not trust this one. We're taking this low again with a body closure, and we got this small wick. See how this one goes. Okay, that's a wick. So that's a wick. That's a closure below this level. Do we have any fair value gap here that can hold price going higher? So what I see is that we took this low. There is this London low that is right here. That's another liquidity. When we are taking a liquidity and we have another liquidity level, we might give a small reversal, go into the other liquidity levels, this one and this one. That's why I don't think this one is a good one. A good setup would be what? Something like this. Going up, creating a high, taking that high again, liquidity sweep going lower. Because that's the real order flow right now. Because this one, this one is acting as an inverse fair value gap. And it looks, you see, it's pushing price lower. So that's what I see so far. Now we got that sweep. Mostly we are bearish for the day. And why? Because we got this Judah swing right here above the Asian high, followed by a displacement. It looks like it's going to be a bearish day. And if you look at this, where did we take the short? This is the midnight open. Above the midnight open, that's where the manipulation happened. Now we're going to see what we have for the rest of the day. We got another sweep. But again, as I said, we're going to wait for all of those liquidity pools to actually be taken in order to go long. And I'm not going to be looking for those. I'm more into the recent structure that I'm having, right? So if I have a Tata Soup intro right here, I'm going to be confidently executing this one. So let's see what we got. Actually, we keep going lower, lower. Okay, I'm going to skip to the, New York Open. So New York Open, that's it. Any major liquidity level, I really see nothing. So there's no major liquidity. Maybe if price goes to this FVG here, that's where I'm gonna go short. But I see nothing here. I'm gonna wait for the market to make some structure and then see what happened. So price is coming to this FVG, maybe push higher. Okay, we took this low. Again, we are very bearish for the day, and this high. If you guys did not watch my 2 trades for the day, the 2 setups, this setup, this sweep and this manipulation tells me that we are bearish for the day. So I'm more into, looking for bearish scenarios. But a long could be actually a potential, right? What we see happening here is that, we're going lower for the day. A lot of liquidity levels here to be taken. So we got this low in a fair value gap actually. So this level, if I came back to, if price goes to this level, I might go long, right? But so far, I see nothing. Okay, so going up, still nothing. Did I sweep this level? A small sweep, but still, not really confident. We could take those 2 levels, and actually, I could have executed this based on the opening price of this. Let me see on the 1 minute what do we have. We got that sweep. Also a wick on the 1 minute time frame. So when we have a wick on the 15 minute as well as a wick on the 1 minute, it tells me one thing, that it's really aggressive, right? And it's gonna reverse for sure. Not for sure, but mostly. Now we got this FVG here. If I see price, because I missed the main entry, which is the opening price of the previous candle, maybe we'll wait for price to come here. And if it shows a strength from here, I might go long. Let's see, okay. Actually going higher already, mitigating this area here. Actually it did not go to the fair value gap. Starting to go lower. Okay, I think there was news here. So yeah, we could have made some money only if we go limit order, but I think it's not really worth it. Okay, we actually sweep this high. This is a sweep of this high, and that's the continuation that I'm looking for. I really wish for price to actually go, into this point. Let me see on the 1 hour if we have. Okay, that's a good one because we have a high on the 1 hour. We have a fair value gap. and price is rushing to go to where? To this liquidity level in the 4-hour. Remember, when we have something like this, we're going lower, going up, going lower, and there is a major liquidity here. If price doesn't reach it immediately, it's gonna sweep the closest, the nearest liquidity level in order to go there. It's not gonna go up to mitigate the extreme FVG. It's not gonna happen, not this way, and not in this case. So this for me looks like a very nice entry. This is the opening price, and we're gonna be waiting for price to close below. Okay, if it immediately goes lower now, I'll still execute. If it keeps going up, I'm not interested. Let me see, because okay, we close below. Now take a look at the 15 minutes. Again, that's nothing but a wick, right? Now that's how you know when to execute and when not to. So stop loss above the high. We're gonna be, looks like price could actually go lower. In this case, 15-minute. And I just noticed that this is out of the kill zone, but it still looks good. And it's only about 9 minutes after kill zone. So still, it's could still, you know, work in this case. We're gonna be entering here, stop loss just above the high. 3 to 1 placing order. It's gonna be a market order in this case. Save. See what happened. So we keep going lower. Back to the entry. Now I'm gonna go and take my gun box, 50% here. Yeah, it's around here. So we took this liquidity level, the 4-hour one, but still, okay, not to the 50% yet. Okay, there you go. So 50%. I'm gonna go break even, and I'm only interested in price going lower in order to take my profit, because now I lost some of the profits. So I want to see price going lower in this case, but it looks like it's going to the entry. Let's see what we have. Okay, I'm gonna actually go to 5 minutes to make it faster. Okay. Okay, there you go. So 50%, we take 50% now, and then just keep it running. Okay, and we just stop that at break even. So it's still, it was very nice trade. We were late to the entry, but still it worked out. This is, you know, after kill zone, gonna remove everything, goes to the next session. So we got agent here. That's a new day. We're gonna be marking the midnight open. So midnight open is around here. That's the midnight open level. This one. Now you see, we have this FVG here above and this level. That's if it was in kill zone, I'll be taking this whole time. You see what happened here is, yeah, sorry about that. Let me remove this. So this level right here is a low inside of FVG, and it looks to me that this is almost 50%. Yeah, almost, you know, sweep below the 50% of the agent session. That's a very strong point. Sweep, not closing above, entry going up. Looks to me that price is gonna be pushing higher, and this right here tells me that mostly price is gonna keep going for the rest of the day, going up, right? So let's see what we have on the 4-hour. We have this extreme FVG. So we have two fair value gaps. We have one that is very big here. We have an inducement. We got also another one. So two scenarios happening here. Price could reverse from any of those. The 15 minutes. See what we got. So playing the price action. Okay, we did not sweep this, and we closed above it. So we're inside of the fair value gap on the 4-hour actually, and we did not close below it. We're again inside of it. I see nothing to execute here. We have this fair value gap. Maybe if I see a quick, even a big reaction from this area, I might execute. Okay, that's a sign of reversal, but still it doesn't look too good to me, because we have been, you know, we had the sweep and we be going up. I want to see a structure happening in order to execute. Yeah, we're going lower. Okay, up again. It looks to me that this is a bullish day until we reach maybe this, you know, somewhere in this FVG. That's how I see it. Gonna be keep going. Let's see. Okay, this one going up. So we sweep this high. We got also this high here. This is a high. This is, you know, this is London high. This is New York high. It looks to me that this is a very bullish day, and it's gonna be very risky to look for shorts unless we see something that is very clear, right? This is the only time where I'm gonna be looking for short. So let's see. We got this high. We actually closed above it, but it's not much of displacement. I want to see what the next candle does. Okay. Okay, it takes this one and we are inside of the 4-hour FVG now. Now that's for me, it looks like a high probability one because what happened is we sweep this high into the 4-hour fair value gap. And maybe now we're going to have a reversal. Now, the thing is, we already have this, the right side of the curve is going lower. So it's not the same as when I was telling you that we're not going to look for a POI here. This POI is very close to the current price action. Actually, it's part of the current price action. You see what happened here is big drop, fair value gap, another one, price coming to this, and it looks like a very nice sweep so far. And we are in the London kill zone. So let's see what we have. Actually, I'm gonna, because this is not a closure above, I'm gonna mark this opening level, right? Go to the 1 minute. I want to see, in this case, I want to see a closure below and inversing this FVG. That's what I want to see, right? So an inverse of this FVG, because it's another confirmation of this. Let's see. We did not get a closure, below. Okay, we swept above. That's a sweep, and we are after the London kill zone, but in a few minutes, it's okay for me. I would allow about 30 minutes. And now we're going lower, so that's almost a closure, not a closure below. That's a closure below inside of the FVG. I want to see either a mitigation of the fair value gap. I'm requiring this extra confirmation here because the 15-minute has been very bullish, right? I mean, even the 1 minute, also the 15-minute. But it's a mitigation of the higher time frame order flow, right? So let's see if we get a close. Yeah, that's actually a closure below. I'm gonna be entering maybe somewhere in here to get a better entry. Stop loss is gonna be above the high, and we're gonna be targeting 3 to 1. So 3 to 1 is around here, right? And we're gonna go place order. It's gonna be a limit order in this case because I want to get a little bit better entry, right? So let's see. Okay, that's an entry. A little bit in drawdown. So this tells me that we could have gotten a better entry at this FVG here. That's a mitigation of the fair value gap. So this also tells me that, okay, it looks valid. You see what happened here? Look at this FVG. That's the first fair value gap. It's a bearish one. We mitigate that fair value gap. We create another one. If there is a clear order flow, it's gonna respect this FVG now, or maybe sweep this high and start going lower. So both scenarios, and now there you go. So we respected this FVG also, and we're going lower now. Now I'm gonna take my gam box from here to here. 50% is around here. Let's see what happened. Yeah, we're going lower. Almost there. Another drop. Okay, still not there. Gonna make it faster. Okay, there you go. So we got 50%. That's a 50% partials as well as break even. Now I'm gonna make it just faster, right? 5 minutes, and we see we're back. There we got another fair value gap, and this fair value gap is followed by a breakout. And what do we have here? The overlapping. So price could actually respect, if it wants to go lower, respect any of those. Either of those is valid. So okay, a bit closer above, so it doesn't look the best to me, but we're starting the New York kill zone, right? So we could have another maybe liquidity. Actually, there is a liquidity sweep that is very nice here, but it's against of what we're looking for. You see this one? We have a low, another low, and that's a fair value gap. Sweeping it to there, we could have actually entered on this, but I'm gonna stick to my first one because I don't want to enter 2 trades at the same time. I'm gonna wait for this one to either go to break even or take profit and see what happened after. So okay, that's a very nice, very nice. So I'm gonna remove this because this is the previous 4-hour. I'm gonna remove all of this here, and you see we're going lower now. I don't see any liquidity level that is very valid. Maybe I see this order block that has a low inside. Actually, that's a sweep, so it looks kind of valid to me that we might actually look for a continuation, but we're already reacting of this 4-hour fair value gap. So I think the overall trend is bearish, so not really interested in this much, even though it could work, but I'm more interested in continuation of this trend, right? Because this confirms to me that most likely this is the high of the day right here. This is the high of the day, and we're gonna keep going lower. So let's see what happened after. Okay, we could have taking this one, and mostly we got our 3R, but it is what it is. We're out of kill zone, and I just want to see what happened after. Are we, going lower or higher from here? I mean, whatever. We're gonna go to the next session. This is Asian session, and we're going to this midnight open, the previous midnight open. I don't like when Asian is trending because the probability of lender session is being a little bit messy and choppy. So not really, a fan of this. I'm gonna remove everything that I have here. And you see price reacted from here, from this order block. Want to see what happened after. So I don't see anything here. That's a mitigation of fair value gap. It's almost like we're bearish for the day. We're going lower. We also sweep this low. So this to me, maybe it's yeah, it looks valid to me that we're sweeping. Also, this one is valid. So both of those levels are valid. This is a low inside of the Asian range, and we might actually reverse from here, but the overall trend is bearish right here. So, or price could do what? Could go lower here and go up from here. So both trades are valid. Let's see if we get a closure above the opening price of this, because if we do, I'm gonna execute this to 1 minute time frame. Let's see, yeah, so that's a closure above, but at least in this case, because it looks very risky to me, I want to see a closure above this level. And actually, we started to go lower, and also you see, this is the importance and the significance of the opening levels. You see, the rejection of this level, 1, 2 rejection, and we did not, we got a very small, closure below, but with a big wick to the upside, which tells me that we're rejecting of this order block here, and we're actually going lower. So for me, let's see if we get a closure below. Yeah, that's a closure below, and we keep going lower into the second liquidity level, and we're also closing below. Actually reacted of this, it did not close below the fair value gap. So this to me tells me something, okay? Because we did not close, below the fair value gap, really respect it. So we might actually push higher from here. I'm not gonna trade this one because it doesn't look too good to me, but just, as a tape reading. Let's see what happened. We got the opening price. Let's see what happened after. That's a very clear closure above, right? We could have entered here, maybe stop loss below the low, or give it some room for price to breathe, and then target 3 to 1. Just want to see what happened here. Okay, going up. Okay, that's not gonna work. It did not work. Now that's why I did not trade it, because it doesn't look to me. You see, that's a fake out to the upside, mitigation above the opening price, then going lower. So I don't see anything here. Maybe into this order block, but still nothing is valid to me in this case. We started going up from here, going up. Still, I see nothing. If it sweeps this liquidity level, I might go for short continuation to the downside. There's nothing so far that I see. We're gonna be skipping to the New York session. Let's see what will happen on the New York session. Actually, we have some high impact news, looks like. Okay, we have NFP. I think it's Friday. So we have NFP. Most likely is gonna be choppy until NFP and also after NFP. So I want to see what happened here. Okay, that's NFP. Sweep to the downside, going up, sweeping above this, but it's almost the end of the week, so not really interested in this. So we're gonna be skipping to the next week, and let's see how it goes. So playing the price action, you see this level right here, this high in a fair value gap is very significant. If I see price going there, I might execute. There's nothing that I see here. I really want to see, a new structure happening after Monday, because I still see nothing that is clear. Maybe this high taken or this low, because we are inside of this range as of now. I want to see what happened here. Starting London kill zone, we're actually going and taking the Asian low, right? So we took the Asian low only with a wick. I might actually take this one, even though it's not in a a POI, maybe on the 1 hour. Let's see. Yeah, so it's a inside of a 1 hour fair value gap, and we only swept what? So only a sweep on the 1 minute as well as on the 15 minutes. That's a valid to me. We got opening price here. Let's see, a closure above very nicely. So might execute this stop loss a bit below the low. We got a fair value gap here. As soon as we actually engulf this fair value gap, it's gonna give me more confidence. 3 to 1 is around here. It looks good to me because, I mean, when we have a very clear, liquidity sweep of a previous session high or low, and especially that we have a wick on the 1 minute as well as on the 15 minutes, it tells me something that price is really willing to reverse, especially that this is also inside of what? A 1 hour fair value gap. That's why I'm trusting this. And even though we are inside of that range, I'm really, trusting the setup. So click on in here, place order 1%, and that's actually a market order. So market order, let's see what we have. We got a mitigation. We enter the trade. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Another sweep to the low. Let's see what happened after. Back to the range again. So that's, pretty bad. That should have given some room for price to breathe below the entry. But it is what it is. I want to see what happened after. Actually, let me have this. So we got to break even here, I think. Let's see. Actually, that was my stop loss here. Okay. It did not really move much here. Okay. So that's a bad trade indeed. I mean, it's a good setup, but it is what it is, right? So we move lower. We got a mitigation of this FVT to the overlapping. That's the power of the overlapping. So you see overlapping, but not really looking to execute anything. We really want to see price going out of this range. We got this range from this high to the low, simply the NFP range. I want to see price get out of this range. So you see starting going up. Okay. Starting off New York kill zone. Did we got a sweep of this high? Not really. Very close to it. A sweep here, but it still doesn't look good to me, as I think prices go into this high of the range or the low of the range. So I think today it's Monday, low probability for me. We already took a setup and I was losing. So I think I'm going to skip this one because I do believe based on the 4 hour that this is an inducement. That's where price is going to. You see, this is a high in a fair value gap. That's where we might have the reversal. So I'm skipping this. That's the importance of experience and, being a little bit in a discretionary mode just to know which one to go with and which one to skip. Maybe this is going to work, but I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. Let's see. Okay. So again, going up, and that's the end of kill zone. So skipping this day, really curious to see how it goes for the next day. Okay. Again, we're still inside of this range. It doesn't look good. Honestly, it doesn't look good. Let's see what happened for this day. What we have is, okay, we have the Asian high, and then we have a fair value gap above it for this day. At least it's not Monday. We got this FVG here above it. Price could take this one into the fair value gap, started going lower. What we also have is this low in a fair value gap, right? But near the current price action, what we have is this. So Asian low, Asian high. Look at this. 50% very nicely respected here. And what we have is an inducement at the 50% level. So to me, it looks like price, if it wants to go lower, it doesn't need to go above the Asian high. It might just go to the 50% of the Asian range and go lower. That's what a lot of people don't understand. What they do is always look for the high of the Asian. But if price is in rush to go lower, it's going to go only to 50% inducement to go lower. So let's see if that level. Okay, very nicely. I mean, what happened here is price sweeping this low, but it's already up here. So there was not much time to actually execute this. But now we see that price is not actually closing above this level. And we have opening range here, right? And we have a sweep very nicely. I'm going to go to 1 minute time frame and look for a very clear, closure below, at least below this level. So at least I want to see an engulfing. Okay, price actually keep going higher into this FVG. Let's see, into this also taking this inducement on the 1 minute. As long as it doesn't go and displaces above and stay around here for some time, because there's going to be a closure on the 15 minutes. If it just goes up even a little bit further, then goes lower in little time, right? Not much time, It's gonna be still a wick on the okay, so it started going up. If it doesn't go lower, like let's say at 245 until here, if it doesn't close below, then most likely it's a closure above, right? So we go lower. Let me see. Okay, actually it's closing now. I want to see on the 15 minutes. It's a big wick, mitigation, a small body closure, and price coming back to the range. It looks to me that this is a valid entry. We could have used the opening price of the next one, but still, this is much safer level. I think it's time to go short here because all of this was a manipulation. We got also mitigation of VG here, starting to go lower. So stop loss could be above here. Even you could have put your stop loss above this because this is already mitigation of fair value gap. It's a strong point. The fair value gap is fully mitigated. We're gonna go 3 to 1 here, placing order. That's a market order in this case. So we started to go lower. Okay, look pretty. You know, this looks pretty nice. We're gonna have our 50%. It's around here, very close to it. So we're gonna go break even. 50%, right? See what happened. Okay, there you go. So we did hit the take profit very nicely, very nicely. That's the main. I mean, me myself, I'm more into trading London. I feel much better trading London. Actually, this looks so good also. But I think, even though this looks good, I think price is going lower because a lot of people will think that a sweep above the Asian high is the only thing that is, confirming the direction, but also a sweep of inducement or almost at the 50% of the Asian range. It's also telling me that this is almost the Judah swing at London, right? And we might go lower. So I think I'm not gonna go long. I'm not gonna risk it and go long. Okay, actually it closes below. So now entering anyway. Started to go up from here, going lower. That's a very small sweep, but it did not sweep this level or this one. Okay, that's another sweep, but we could have not entered because we did not use this opening price. But you could have used this opening price, this one right here, a sweep above this, using the nearest candle opening price. Entering is gonna be somewhere in here, and target. You gotta get your 3R here in this case. You should have gotten it, okay? Because that's also a sweep of a high in a fair value gap. So it looked good, okay? Starting to go up, sweeping this level, but that's out of kill zone. So now entering here. Let me skip to the start of the New York kill zone. Okay, we're starting here. I see nothing. So we're starting to go up. Now, the continuation based on the 2 trades a day, the continuation could be to the lower side. We have this high in a fair value gap, and we also have this major high. So any sweep of those 2 levels is going to result in a price going lower for me because my bias for today is bearish. So you see, let's see if we get any sweep at those levels. Very close to it. Okay, so we sweep this level and we're very close to this one. We might have an SMT. So at least, the rejection of this, it's really convincing. Could have, but I don't like, entering with this big stop loss here. So stop loss about the high. If the M1 structure is convincing enough, I might enter. And I want to, I wish I have SMT to look for, but I think there is an SMT between EU and GU or EU and DXY here. So let's see the 1 minute time frame here. What do we have? M1, we got this FVG here. Maybe can go here. So I think an entry at this FVG with a stop loss above this high, just this high, and targeting 3 to 1 is gonna give me a better entry, right? And I'm not missing the move. So I think I'm gonna go this way, limit order. And if it goes to stop loss, it's okay, right? Because we're already in much profit. Yeah, so almost 9%. Now let's see. We're gonna go to see if we get a mitigation of that. Okay, that's a mitigation. Starting to go lower. Very nice mitigation. We did not create a fair value gap here, so this doesn't make this a high probability price action leg. But still, okay, another sweep of that level. I don't know if we reached the break even point actually. Did we? No, not yet. So there you go. So break even, 50%, right? I'm gonna go break even here. So let's see what happened. We don't get close, we don't get close to the break even. We're already out of the kill zone. I hope it closes below. Okay, there you go. Very nice. Very nice. That's the concept of 2 trades a day that I introduced to you guys, right? Which is first trade on London is either the manipulation above or below the Asian session, or at this time, that manipulation could also happen at a level inside of the Asian session at a major, key level. And then the other one is the continuation on New York. So we're already out of the kill zone. We're going to skip this to the next day and the next session. There you go. So what do we have here? You always start with what? 4-hour time frame. You see what do we have on the 4-hour time frame? We're actually in the middle of everything. So we're still inside of this NFP range and we're in the middle of everything. So we might go to 1 hour, see what do we have on the 1 hour. Again, nothing is really clear here on the 1 hour. Nothing is really clear. So we might just, stick to the 15-minute just to see what we have, the key levels on the 15-minute and go from there. So on the 15 minutes, actually this is a low. This is a low here we took now. Could have actually executed this, right? But it's out of kill zone. Could have, I think price is gonna at least push higher a bit. But then another liquidity level could be what? This low right here into an order block, into the major order block here. Or let's see the start of the London kill zone first, right? So okay, that's the start of the London kill zone. Asian low is taken. Asian high is not taken. There is a very close level to Asian high here. So that's a level of liquidity. We got also this one. Let's see where price. Okay, price actually closes above, but then does it take this one? Okay, there's no closure above the second level here. Let me just close this again because this is getting annoying. So there is this level not closing above. It looks very good to me as of now. I want to mark the the opening price here. Go to 1 minute time frame. I want to see a closure below the level. Very clear closure below the level. Okay, that's a big closure above on the 1 minute. I mean, yeah, it's a 1 minute closure. Let me see what happened after. We're going lower. Let me see on the 15 minutes. Okay, it's a wick so far. It's a wick. Let me see. What time is it? 2:51. So at this time, at 3 a.m., this is the candle. It's going to start. But you see, there's already a closure below that level. So you could have executed this one. Stop loss is going to be above the high and targeting 3 to 1. The 3 to 1 is around here. I think that's going to be a valid entry following the rules. That's a market order in this case. Let's see what we have. We go lower. Okay, that's a break even for sure. No need to have the gam box. Save. Stop loss at break even. See if we go there. Okay, pretty close to it. Okay, but then close at break even. So it's all good. We at least we did not lose this trade, even though it looked good. But I think the entry was a bit late. So on 50 minutes, it looks like we actually missed, and that's where we could have taken some profits. This is another opportunity to go long, but we missed it already. Could have gone long somewhere in here, and price is gonna go up. That's a very nice turtle soup entry, but it is what it is, right? Now, what we see here is also those equal highs here. Could have had a very nice entry at those equal highs. If I see, okay, there you go. So it looks to me that there is a very nice entry at this level, because what happened is we're actually trading an inducement in the London session as well as a previous New York high. So we're gonna be looking at this opening level, right? And I want to see a closure below. Okay, that's a closure, and I think I missed it. So we're gonna go limit here, stop loss above the high, and targeting 3 to 1, which is somewhere in here. I think I'm gonna enter this as a limit order, right? And we're gonna see how this goes. Okay, so we get a mitigation here, and it looks like it's going up for now. And that's a loss. That's a valid loss. It's okay. Every setup, there are some losses and there's some profits. We're still going up again. We could have actually go lower from here, but I don't want to risk, entering two trades in a row. So I'm going to skip this one. Maybe wait for the New York session to start and see how this goes. Actually, we have this low here, very clear manipulation below the Asian low, a breakout above. So it looks to me that we're actually gonna continue higher in this case from this FVG, right? So we got this clear fair value gap, which is an extreme fair value gap, and it's a balanced price range. So this fair value gap here, we could actually push higher from here. I want to see what happened on that. So we got the starting of the New York kill zone. I don't see anything. We actually have this sweep also back into this, origin liquidity level that is taken. I'm more into longs, right? So we go lower. This is, I can consider this as a sweep, right? So this is a low of a fair value gap, and this in the lower time frame is a low, a liquidity level. So I could actually look for an entry here. You could have had, the opening price here, but this is again for more advanced people because sometimes it gets tricky. So I want to see a closure above that level. That's a closure above. But in this case, price actually could move lower more into the fair value gap. So if you want to have, you could have entered from here, but because the fair value gap is not fully filled, you could have had your stop loss below the fair value gap. But I think if I put it like this and then targeting 3 to 1, I don't think it's really worth it to me. So I think I'll prefer to see a sweep inside of the fair value gap. So again, you see this low right here. I wanted to see a sweep below it. Then I might execute, right? I want to see more price going into the fair value gap, and hopefully price fills the whole fair value gap. So, okay, that's price filling the whole fair value gap. Now I could actually look for this opening price here back to 1 minute time frame and any closure above. So again, no closure above, but then any closure above we have, see the, okay, that's a closure above, but very small. I want to see another one. That's a valid entry here. Stop loss below the low. And what we can target is what? 3 to 1. That's to me looks like a valid entry because the fair value gap is fully filled and we can now look for the continuation, right? So market order, risking 1% again. And the 50% is around here, right? And let's see. So we're pushing higher. Let's see, I'm going to make it faster a bit. Okay, I was a bit late. But now we take some partials. I want to take some partials. 50% and stop loss at break even. Later run more. Let's see. Okay, we got the take profit. Very nice trade. And you see, most of the trades that we take that are high in probability are what? The trades after the lender session when we establish the direction. Establish the direction, very clean trade. Establish the direction, very clean trade. Now going to the next day, right? So next day. And from this point, I'm going to go faster because now you understand the point and you understand how I think, because I think the video is going to be too long, right? So now what do we have? I'm going to remove everything. We're very, I'm going to keep it. We're very close to the NFP range. Maybe we're going to go lower to go up or go up to go lower. We're going to see how this goes. The start of the London kill zone right here. We did not get an entry. The sweep was at 130. So before the start of the London kill zone, looks like we're going lower now, right? So lower, we saw it also this low. That looks like a valid one, but I still see a lot of inducements here. So a lot of, gaps to be filled, imbalances right here, especially this one, this low in a fair value gap. So if I see a sweep here into this FVD, it looks valid to me. There's also those lows, which is one right here and the other one right here. So if I see a sweep at those levels, I'm going to be executing. So you see price came here. That's for me. It actually looks good. We did not close in much displacement. So I think I'm going to execute this one. Opening price here, back to 1 minute time frame. And what do we see? So this is the opening price right here. If I see a closure above, no closure above, nothing so far. Okay. As of now, I'm going to see, was it? Okay. So still it looks good. We got a closure above. That's my trigger, right? I'm going to execute here. Stop loss below the low, targeting a 3 to 1. There you go. Place order here. It's gonna be a market order. Let's see how this one goes. Okay, that's an L. That's a stop loss. We actually got some other POIs below. So let's see how this goes. Playing the price action. The price going here. It actually closes below. So we gotta go to 15 minutes. This one we close below. We're gonna look at the other one. We get a reaction of it. Okay, that was not the closure. This is the closure. So this one looks so good, right? This is the opening price. We did not close below, and this is an extreme, low inside of a order block. So for me, it looks good. I want to see a quick reaction of it. Okay, that's price pushing higher. That's my entry. And what I could do is also maybe enter 50% of this candle, stop loss below, targeting 3 to 1, which is around here, placing order. It's going to be a limit order in this case because I really want to get a better entry. And I think price might go lower a bit. Okay, going up. Okay, that's unlucky, right? That's pretty unlucky that we did not get filled. Okay, I don't know. Did we hit stop loss? I don't know. Okay, we get another entry. I should have not held this one, but I don't know. I want to see how it goes. Okay, that's a TP, but man, that was very messy and it was very choppy. I don't know. We missed the first trade because I thought that price is gonna actually go lower, and we did not hit the stop loss here. I mean, if you don't want to count this one, you can. I'm not going to count it. Back to 15 minutes. That was a bit of a miss, right? Now, this is the end of the London kill zone. We're going to wait for New York. What we have here is this NFP, as well as this kind of a London high, right? I'll consider it as London high. We got also this high, but we are not in the New York kill zone as of now. We push higher. Okay, very nice reaction of this level. Very nice one. And I want to see, do we have anything in here that is, very major? Okay, we have news. That's, I think, yeah, the CPI in about, 30 minutes. So I don't think I'm going to execute this one. I think we're going to skip this day. Okay, actually goes to the NFP. So that's what I was afraid of, and that's what happened. So I think let's see if we have any other setup after, and we're gonna go from there. So price is pushing lower, going up. Okay, that's a sweep, and it looks like price did close below with a very small body, right? And that's a low of almost CPI into this order block. That to me looks so good, and I think we can actually, execute this one. So I just want to see at least an inverse fair value gap here, right? So we close above, yes, but I want to see an inverse fair value gap to confirm the direction that we're having here. So did we close? Yeah, we closed above. That's a closure above. I'm going to enter here. So in case I don't want to enter somewhere in here, I want to be sure that I enter the trade, stop loss here, and then take profit at 3 to 1. That's it. I think it's achievable. Not even, on the 15 minutes. That's a high, and that's an inducement. So I can actually extend this to this high. That's a 3.64. I'm gonna enter here with a market order. So place order here. Market order. Okay. Entering on this. Let's see how it goes. So we're up in profit. I think that's already 50%, as you see. 50% taken. Stop loss. Break even. I think we're gonna continue there to that high because that's a very clear inducement. Unless we go break even, but it looks like it's okay. I don't know. Okay, break even. So break even, but I still think that price is gonna go to that 15-minute inducement. That's a very valid level. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, 15-minute level taken, but it's out of kill zone and we're done for the day. So now going to the next day. Asian session starting here. I'm gonna remove everything that I have, all the drawings that I have, and we got Asian session here. We got also CPI, Asian session high here, and what also we have. So any valid levels, we got this low in a fair value gap and an order block below it. So that's a valid level also. When we go lower, we'll also have this, big changes to delivery with an order block, and we have this extreme low that is inside of it. So I'm just marking all the levels that I'm expecting price actually to, react off, and we're gonna see how it goes. Also, if price doesn't go there, then it might go and react of this almost 50% of the Asian range, and it's an inducement. The same thing that we've done about 3 days ago, right? In price action, we had the same thing and price reacted to this level. So we might, do it again. So let's see how this goes. We're pushing lower into this big wick. We can have reaction of this, but I'm not trusting it. So did we sweep the level? That's a sweep, but I think that I really missed the trade, right? So I missed the trade. I wish that I looked at this opening level entered of it. Okay, that was pretty nice, but sometimes you miss the trades and it's okay. This was a very nice sweep going up. Okay, and that's also another sweep. I'm not sure if I missed it, but let's see the lower time frame if we can have an a valid entry of there. So this was the opening range here, or the opening price. What we had is price going lower. A lot of fair value gaps here to be filled that we can actually count on. So let's say fair value gap here, another one. Maybe could have executed based on this one, this FVG that aligns with what? With the overlapping. So we got an overlapping here, could have entered on this one, and that's what I'm gonna do. Entering on this stop loss above the high, this high, and then targeting, say, a 3-to-1, which is around here. Placing an order. That's a limit order in this case because I missed the main trade, and you see we did not get that, we did not hit the take profit yet, so it's still valid to us. Let's see if we get an entry, unless we take a major liquidity level. And okay, so we get a mitigation. Let's see if we start going lower a bit into the extreme fair value gap. 50% of this is around here. That's 50%. Want to see if price is gonna go there, and very close to it. Yeah, there you go. So I'm gonna go stop break even here, and it's okay. I'm gonna take 50%, even though it's a bit above the break even level. I'm gonna let it run, see how it goes. Very close to the take profit level. It's gonna be unlucky if price doesn't go there. It's gonna be very unlucky. See, okay, again, very unlucky. Yeah, there you go. So now we have, and yeah, we're very close to this. So I could have actually extended my level to this one because that's a level that I'm marking and price is very close to it. I'm gonna go to 15 minutes, see how this candle react, but it's actually out of kill zone. So, it is what it is. So I'm not interested in this. We are going lower. We sweep this low, but we have this extreme low that I'm more interested in, right? So I'm looking for this low more to be swept, and we actually started going lower, and that's a sweep. Now again, we missed the trade again because it is what it is. Because of the backtesting, we're not gonna be looking at every 1 minute candle, but if we could have executed this one, I'm gonna forget about this one, but show you how you're able to execute based on this. So the 15-minute opening price of this is right here. Now this is 7:45. So at 8 a.m. it closes. This is the opening price, or the closing price of this one. We close above it. That's gonna be your trade here. That's the entry here, the closure above the opening price, stop loss, and 3-to-1. And I think price is gonna go there. That was a very clean one, but sometimes it doesn't go your way. So there you go. You see, very nicely taking that level. We also have this level here, but I think the stop loss, this is a very valid level, but I think the stop loss is going to be huge, and we could have an entry here, and price is already reacting of this major level. At least want to see price come into this extreme fair value gap or POI here, right? Better to enter from here with a tighter stop loss, or maybe price taking the Asian high actually. So marking the London high as well as the Asian high and see if we get a reaction of those levels or this fair value gap here. So all of those levels are potential for price to reverse, right? So we started going up. We swept the London level, right? So could have had the opening level here, back to 1 minute time frame. We see a closure below. That's a pretty nice closure that I've entered on this one. Stop loss above the high and targeting 3 to 1. So you see, I'm very used to this. That's why I'm going quicker than usual. And that's why I'm going quicker than the beginning of the video, because now you actually understand the way of execution and how we look. Okay, that was pretty quick. So that hits stop loss and it's totally okay. Maybe we're going to the Asian high instead. So I should have not executed this one because we have the Asian high very close to it. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to forget about this, only execute when price goes to the Asian high and actually goes lower, but then it goes up again. So that's my trade here. That's my main trade. Opening price of the next candle is here. Let's see if we get a closure. That's a closure below. That's a valid closure below. And we actually inversed fair value gap here. So stop loss above the high, take profit 3 to 1, place an order. That's a market order. And let's see how this goes. Okay, pretty nice reaction of that level. Going up again, mitigating the fair value gap. So you see mitigating closing below. That's a sign of strength in the price action, actually weakness in this case. And we're going lower. Let's see. Okay, it looks like 50% is hit just by your looking by the eye. Stop loss at break even, and let's see how this goes. Hopefully to break it, to the take profit, and that's where it goes to. We are in a inverse fair value gap, so price could actually go higher from here. Let's see, actually, okay, go lower, and then it acts the other way now. We're going lower out of kill zone, so not really interested in anything after the day. Today it's 15 of the month, and I think that we've covered a lot of price action in every day. We went to the details that it took more than 1 hour to go over 15 days of price action. So that's, I did not want to go just briefly over the price action, cover, I don't know, 2 months in 30 minutes. That's not going to be beneficial to you. I was trying to think out loud. So I was trying to just show you how I think and how I think about any highs and lows, how to filter out the good and bad trades, how to only trade the high probability ones. And we took some losses and we learned from them. So it's totally okay. Now, backtesting is much different than, real trading sometimes. Backtesting doesn't involve the patience. Live trading is totally the opposite. But still, you learn a lot from backtesting. And we took wins and we took losses, and it's all valid, right? So if you guys like this one, then leave a comment. Tell me to keep going. We can actually do some backtesting like this, 15 days each video, and see how it goes for the rest of the year. And yeah, now based on the first 15 days of the month, the analytics looks like this. We got a 20% up on those 15 days, and it's not going to be like this all the time, right? Actually, 20%, what I go with is 0.5%. So this for me, yes, it's a 20R, but my R, which is my risk, is 0.5. So for me, that's going to be only a 10% gain, which is already a lot, right? Now, 76% win rate with an average of 3 to 1 reward to risk. That's very, very nice. Break even, we go break even after 50%. The average RR is 2.64. What does that mean? That means that after, taking 50% and then going to the full RR at 3, or, the full position at 3, we are getting about 2.64. So it's not 3R, it's actually 2.64. We could have had a max RR of this, ideal average RR, whatever. Those are the analytics. If you guys wanted more to go in, maybe, we're finishing the month with 10%, and that's still good, So if you guys wanted another video of this, keep going to the next 15 days and maybe go to the next month and the other month. Let me know and maybe back this some other years, random time, maybe in 2017, for example. So just let me know. I hope you guys like this video. I'll see you on the next one.